Is that fortified? Do you eat fortified cereal in the morning? Your love really fortified. Are you being forthright with me? Are you being forbearing with your people? You. Do you know what I mean by fortified? I bet you don't. Welcome to episode 205, man. Can't believe we made it this far together. Not only is this episode 205, this is the first auxiliary episode of our Summer of Plenty. The last time we were together, we talked about a Fender instrument. We talked about Fender musical instruments and what it meant to us. And how it's kind of like Fender's become an empire. As opposed to like Gibson, which has become like, you know what I'm saying? More like a heritage sort of thing. You know what I mean? More like a sentimental sort of site. You know what I'm saying? Just like a place where we can go and feel our heritage. Our sentimentality. Gibson is our comfort food, man. It's like the ramen of the world. So, what better thing to talk about in part 2 of our first installment of Summer of Plenty than the yin to the yang for our friends at Fender that we talked about last time. Talk about Gibson. We got a Gibson for you, man. And it's a doozy, man. It's a humdinger, man. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Now, let's talk about it, man. Because I want to be forthright with you. Your friend old Guitkits, I'm kind of like a meticulous planner. You know what I'm saying? Early on in the year, when I think about what episodes I'm going to make, I kind of have like all kinds of episodes started, and you know what I'm saying? Like ideas of what I'm going to do, and a progression, and the themes and ideas. And I have this plan months, sometimes like a year in advance. You know what I'm saying? Every January, I write down in a little book what episodes I want to come out that whole year, and I just sort of try to make it happen in my spare time. Because a lot of these, you know, some of these episodes are very long recently, you know what I'm saying? Like 2 years ago, I was coming out with an episode every single week. And some of them were like, you know, 45-minute episodes, you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. So I had to keep track of things. Like, I was like the head elf in Santa Claus Workshop back in those days. Now I'm just sort of like, what time do I have now? What episode are we to do then? You know, so I can sort of plan what I do in my spare time. So my spare time is like sort of like, so I was putting together this whole idea of how many episodes we'll put out. And I said, you know, I want to do a Summer of Plenty. Right around like episode 205, because we are at episode 200 as a milestone of the time travel episode 200. We did that together, right? 205 is a milestone too, because it's, you know what I mean? One of those numbers. You know what I mean? A quinto number, a 5-level number, man. Halfway there. 205, right? So we're going to have a special one. I thought about it. You know, what can we do? We definitely are going to do Fender, the first round of the first one, so we can have like this extravaganza. Fender's one of the biggest instrument, you know what I mean, conglomerates in the world, right? We featured it, you know what I mean? An import Fender acoustic together. We played it, rehabilitated it last time, and we were happy about that. So now we're doing Gibson. I wanted a special Gibson because Gibson's like a heritage thing. Gibson's a special moment together, so I wanted to get like a special Gibson, you know. So early on this year, I knew I had that Gibson slot right for that, you know what I mean, second, you know, episode of our friends here in the month of July, right? July. So 205 is here, and what am I going to feature, right? So early in the year, I'm thinking, what can I feature? You know, what can I do? You know what I mean? I really know what a good Gibson I was thinking about. I was mesmerized by my own thought process, man. So, after a little while, I was like, maybe I can do it. And then all of a sudden, out of like nowhere, I get my hands on a Gibson reproduction, you know, I mean, Maestro Tremolo from the early 60s, you know what I mean? Perfect. You know, the Gibson logo on it is like, key, it's perfect. What happens is Gibson, they don't make everything. Sorry. And they have the Chinese making like little parts of them. And they have the Chinese making the Maestro tremolos. And with the whole, you know what I mean, crazy change in like buying things from China, Because the Chinese always, for America, they make, you know, double the number. And like the client, Gibson in this case, gets, you know what I mean, their parts that they ordered for their maestroing, you know what I'm saying? And the Chinese get to sell their own. They're thinking, yeah, I should just want $175. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, like, you know what I mean? Crazy. And then all of a sudden, like, the tariff things come. Dude, if you've been there recently, you'll see AliExpress is in ruin. You know what I mean? Unless you get choice, which is like AliExpress sort of like owned, you know what I mean, vendors and things like that have their own like boats and warehouses. We all see what's up this, you know what I mean? Like everything else is like, you know what I mean, like a $5 piece, like a $17 shipping charge and $30 export tax charge. It's all coming out to the consumer. eBay though, for some reason, is still okay. You can still get all those Chinese pieces you love at the eBay prices, the old prices back in the day. So yeah, you know, this is good. And it's a good thing, you know what I mean? So I got this piece, and it cost me $50, and it was a long stem tremolo, and it was perfect, and it was exactly a Gibson one. I looked at an actual Gibson one online with those, you know, the 360. You can look at the actual part. And the vendor, it's even the same markers in the back. It's the Gibson part, you know, that the Gibson has like had, you know, somebody else make for them. It's got the perfect thing. I was like, so what am I going to do? First thing that came to mind, I want the George Harrison one, you know what I mean, that he gave to the guy from Badfinger. 64, 65 model, something like that. I always wanted that. Always wanted that. I went out to eBay. Went on a Reverb. Guitar Center everywhere looking for a nice SG husk that had that. You know what I mean? The Glockenspiel, you know, all the, you know what I'm saying, the things that SG Supreme had. You know what I'm saying? Looking for all the right bells and whistles. And for some reason, you know what I mean, I just couldn't find a husk that would match it. I was like, man. And you know what I mean? Making it worse, most of the husks have like this kind of a bridge here. You know what I'm saying? The regular ABR bridge. So they got holes there. And you know what I'm saying? The Maestro, you can see a little bit of the holes there. So it's like kind of like, So it has to be like a perfect body. You know what I mean? You can't. I just couldn't find one, and it really frustrated me because you used to be able to get SG bodies, dime a dozen. Like just close your eyes, one hit you in the head, like oh, here it is, $350, here you go. You know what I'm saying? And like now, it's like it's $700-800 for an SG husk, and $900, $1,000 depending on what kind of, you know, husk we're talking about. Who going through the, you know, newer instruments? You know what I'm saying? Nothing even classic, nothing even special. You know what I mean? And I've always in my heart. You know what I mean? SGs go back to this instrument right here with me. This is an important instrument for old Bobby G. I'll tell you what happened, man. Get down. Back when Craigslist was like real, like trendy and everything, I'm talking like well over a decade ago. You know what I mean? A decade and change. You know what I'm saying? I was down with Craigslist. Well, yeah, you know what I mean? Going there, snatching guitars, instruments, and everything. There's a guy in New Brunswick, a Spanish guy. He had like a whole bunch of broken instruments. I guess he was in this kind of band. He used to break his instrument. And he got this. It was an Epiphone. I found out it was an Epiphone. I thought for a long time it was actually a Gibson instrument. And I believe a G400 was the model number. It had this piece right here. It had this piece right here. And it had no headstock at all. Like nothing. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? It was all. And I bought the whole load, and there was like 2 Strat bodies, and there was another some guitar for like $75, something crazy like that. So it came out to like, you know, $25 an instrument. It's only got $20 an instrument. And a trip up to New Brunswick, right? Hey man, go to the grease trucks, Charles. So I brought it home, and I, you know, got a headstock going from another instrument. You know, I brought off the internet. I was like, thought it was a real Gibson for a long time. I could never find a Gibson online. I thought it was like a 80s, 90s Gibson that had this weird special thing. I could never find a correct pickguard for it, but it seemed to be very Gibson-y. I eventually found out it was an Epiphone F400, I believe, one of the first episodes. The reason that it tricked me, man, is it had this, you know what I'm saying, like a real SG back, man. And so I have some great stuff on this instrument. I love it. I played it a lot. This is one of my favorite instruments. You know what I'm saying? I always loved it. It's got all great appointments on it. And I used to play it a lot, you know what I mean? Like, it was a favorite guitar of mine. I really thought it was a real Gibson, you know what I mean? I was like heartbroken when I found out she was an Epiphone. And I was like, yeah, man, you're not even a real Gibson. And the early Epiphone ones, they had that special, neck through body thing that Gibson did on the SG as opposed to the fucking, bolt-on shit. And then they switched over to bolt-on thing like quick on. You know what I'm saying? Right? So anyway, this is a very dear instrument to me. I always wanted to replace it and get something, a little bit more official. Even though I love playing it, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to better myself, man. I don't want to dwell in the sewage, dwell in the shit. So I had this Maestro Vibrola. I had no husk to go with it, man. The long Maestro Vibrola, it's just Gibson on it, all the real parts. And it looks like, I just look at it thinking about it, I'm getting hot. Right? And then I saw this guitar sitting in a pile back there. This is a Firebird kit that I got. This is many, many years ago before I was making any shows and shit, man. AliExpress, when it first became real hip, you can get kits on there for $100, $150, any instrument you wanted. No tax, you know what I mean? It was great, Dream world for you. You know what I mean? I was getting all kinds of kits, man. And I saw a Firebird kit on there, and I was like, ooh, I want to make a all chrome, you know what I'm saying? Firebird 7, you know what I mean? Because they were Firebird 7 were gold. And just the kit was supposed to be different, supposed to be good. The lady that sold these kits was crazy, you know what I'm saying? And basically, you know what I mean, saw she had posted all this stuff about people that complained about her kit. So I looked at the picture and it looked perfect. It was like a perfect Firebird thing, but I got it was stuff wrong with it. The main thing was wrong with it is it's supposed to have that Firebird has the neck that's you know what I'm saying? That's not, if you guys know what a Firebird neck looks like, you're like, what the fuck is that? It's like a Les Paul neck. I was like, what the, everything else was all messed up. The holes were messed up. I had to fix things on it. And I was like, you know what? Should I email it? Should I not email it? I really felt like I wanted some money back for her to send it back or something like that. And I was finally, even though I knew she was crazy, I emailed her. I said, you know what, man? And one of the only reasons I actually bought this, because at that time, the short copy Maestro Vibrola piece, you know what I mean? That became real popular on early AliExpress also. For $50 you could own that. Now you can own the real deal, man. And that has been unheard of up to that time. I was like, ooh. I really wanted the long one for it, of course, because it needs a long one. Anyway, I hated this instrument because I had the bad vibes of that lady. So when I finally emailed her, she sent me all kinds of shit back. You're a snake trying to rip me off, trying to make me have the defamation. I got my lawyer. You know what I mean? I'm going to sue you for trying to make my character slander. And I was like, I didn't slander you, you know what I mean? She's like, that's not the same kit that I sent to you. You're taking pictures of other kits. I was like, what are you talking about, lady? You know what I mean? It's obviously I'm buying another. All right, forget it. You know what I mean? Let's make the kit. And I always hated it. I spent a lot of money on the decals and all the shit on it, and the knobs and everything. And I just never played it because I hated it. You know what I mean? I always had it on the wall. And I remember Ricky D's like, hey man, it's a beautiful guitar, man. And Ricky D took it out and he was plugged in. He's like, I'm gonna play this motherfucker. And it sounded great with Ricky D. And he's like, why don't you let me borrow this, Papa G? I'll break that shit in for you. And I was like, yeah, go ahead, man. And as he's walking out with that, I was thinking motherfuckers are breaking the guitar. I'm gonna break it. I was like, give that back, man. I'll break that shit in, man. I was down here and I put it back on the wall. I never broke it in. And I was like, once I couldn't find that SG thing, I was like, episode 205 with the, you know what I mean, Big Maestro Vibrola should be this thing, man. I want to make it great again. And I want to make new tuners. You know what I mean? Because the real thing has those banjo tuners, man. But I got many Rovers out here. You know why? Because I just couldn't even, you know, back then, man. You know what I'm saying? And that was another one of my gripes. It's supposed to have the holes right in the middle because I was going to try to dumb up some shit. You know what I'm saying? Looking like banjo tuners. So I thought I was going to dumb up the banjo tuner shit right now. You know what I mean? I put that on there. That'll be episode 205. I'm going to make it great again. You know what I mean? I ordered the parts for the banjo tuners. I filmed an intro episode. Oh, welcome, episode 205, man. It was funny as hell. It was one of the funniest episodes I ever, you know, I had an intro that I filmed. This would be great, you know what I mean? You know, I was excited about the episode. And then I filmed the second part of it where I had it down the slab, and I'm like real miserable. Like, I hate this fucking guitar, man. Why am I wasting my time on this whole fucking episode? That's the way I felt in my heart, man. I hated this guitar. I always have. I never play. I will never play it just because of the dark time in my life I had while I was building it. And why am I to waste this fucking beautiful Maestro Vibrola and my opportunity for my 205th episode of Extravaganza? Why am I to waste it on this fucking piece of shit that I'm never going to play it again? You know what I'm saying? And plus, all the parts that I paid for the banjo tuner things, but you know what I mean? Mocked out banjo tuners. Didn't even fit. Shit didn't work out. And he's like, I'm just going to blow this Maestro Vibrola. You know what I mean? Come on there. You know, we're talking about making these new tuners. And I couldn't even do it. You know what I mean? I was like, bullshit, man. I was upset. I was heartbroken. You know what I mean? Crestfallen, I believe is the word. I don't want to blow, you know what I mean? 16 minutes and 10 seconds of your time on nothing. But I got something special for us to talk about together, right? So, episode 205, man. What was I going to do? My heart wasn't in this, man. I was like already two little, you know what I'm saying, videos in for the episode, and I felt like, you know what I mean, it just wasn't going to work out. I was going to have to break up with the guitar. I'm sorry, man. I can't fix you. I just don't feel it. I mean, that's not in my heart anymore. I don't even want to work. I don't want to see you anytime. I want you to go away, man. Take your clothes, get the fuck. That's why I was not happy with this fucking instrument. I didn't even do anything to me, you know what I mean? It sat there, you know what I mean, on the hook in the corner quietly for 15 years, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But, you know what I'm saying? I'm a sentimental person. So I went back to eBay, I went back to Reverb, went back to Guitar Center with SG Husk, SG Husk, And I saw a 1964 Gibson EB-0, that's like the short scale Jack Bruce bass. Dio played one too in the early Rainbow days, believe it or not. It's true. But it's, you know what I mean, it's a classic instrument from 1964, $799. I fired up. That's episode 205, man. $800. And I thought to myself, it has a make offer, something there, a little click, you know what I mean? And I started doing all kinds of math. I offered $575. And I did all kinds of things. Looked online, all the parts are available, parts not available. And this was just a husk. It had nothing else. It was fucked up. The neck had been broken off. You know what I'm saying? There's all kinds of like fading on the front of it. You know, it was 1964, so it had like holes in it from where the thumb rest was, the hole where the lazy like fake pickup cover was. It was all, you know, it was messed up looking. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'd give $575 for it, and I could probably get all the parts I need for, because of $799, you know what I mean? After the shipping, after the tax, it's going to cost me close to $875, round about to have it delivered. I could probably make it look great again for like $875 if I paid $575 for it. You know what I mean? I'd make offer, so I was like, maybe I'll make offer. But still in my mind, I had this beautiful long codpiece Maestro Vibrola. I was like, yeah, I might get, you know what I mean? I might get lucky a little bit closer to the episode time, you know what I mean? The time kept ticking on, though. Seasons were going quicker. 2025, I just couldn't stop it. I have to make a decision, man. You know, I have to make a decision. Yeah, there was nothing on eBay. There was no other SG. And all of a sudden, I get one of those little messages. Seller has offered you, $749 for, you know what I mean, something that you looked at. Make a counter offer. Be the first one to accept it. And I was, ooh, I'm going to make you a counter offer, motherfucker. $575. You know, I was like, you know, I mean, at this point, I was like, I want the SG that Harrison had. You know what I mean? Never sells for $575. It was a 1964 Gibson SG, you know, EB-0 bass. You know what I mean? With a big mud bucker, and I was like, ooh, I was thinking about it. And then the next morning, I woke up and like, yeah, offer accepted. Sure, you know, that's contesting the price is right. I was like, ooh. And that was a couple hours ago, man. Scant 48 hours ago. I quickly went and bought all the parts that I remembered to buy my parts. And I looked up that night all bleary-eyed, like, you know what I mean? When I first did the research on it. And then the next day I looked at the parts again. I said, oh, I have to buy different parts because they're different sizes. And basically there's an Altec pickup, a mudbucker, which will fit right in this instrument. It fit in with like sound wise, but this is a 64. I can tell by the picture where the holes are lined up. So, you know what I mean? It's got the big early mudbucker in there. So I bought a cover from an old mudbucker for 50 bucks. I paid for it with points, right? I had $200 of points all saved up too. So I was like, man. So for $860, round about same price, I bought all the parts. I got the original thing to put on the Altec. We're going to try to make a pickup. We're going to put all new electronics in, but it's going to look old. It's going to look original. Electronics are going to be like legitimate stuff. See, think about vintage instruments. They have vintage electronics and vintage fucking tuning keys on there. And that's the shit that goes like bad on Gibsons, especially Fenders. It just goes bad. You know what I mean? Like, especially the electronics on Rickenbackers. Oh my God. Mark buys a, you know what I mean, vintage Rickenbacker. First thing he does is he rips out all the original electronics and buys fucking other bullshit. I've seen him do it. Not pretty. Anyway, so that being said, I got other parts for the tuners that are new. I'm going to take like WD Music makes like a set, because Gibson has like, they use Kluson 138s, which have like a real small sort of. When I first bought just like a set of 4-4s, I figured I could slap in it. I said, oh yeah, that's a little smaller. You know, so I got the ones that are the exact same size as the Gibson Kluson 538s made by WD Music. I believe they're called like the deluxe bass tuners. And I think I have somewhere in the drawer a set of like the real small, you know what I mean, tuning, you know what I mean, pegs. So I think I'm going to make like a Frankenstein tuning peg. It might work, might not. You know what I mean? It's something in my mind. I bought a whole bunch of parts for that. And for the mudbucker, you remember the cover, and the new Altec. That was only like 25 bucks. The Altec mudbucker, which is supposedly USA specs from like the 70s. But this is from like the 60s, so I need the big cover. I got the original cover. As for the bridge, some dude in Argentina making repro bridges. Sold like 28 of them. He made 30 of them. I got like 29, number 29. He wanted 100 bucks for it. I talked him down to like $89. Yeah, I asked for like 75, and he said, how about 89? I was like, all right, let's do that. Bridge is real hard to find, you know what I mean? Very hard to find. Luckily, the guy I bought the Husk from had just parted the guitar out, so I have pictures of all the components that he's taken off of it, saved in my phone. I'll show you them, you know, a little bit later in the Learning Laboratory as the instrument arrives. It's very exciting to be with you, right? Together in episode 205. I've told you so many stuff. 23 minutes and 10 seconds. Isn't that crazy, man? What a time I wasted. So let's get down to it. I'm excited. July, summer plenty. 1964 SG EB-0 Bass band on Gibson, man. I'll see you on the slab when it arrives. So here it is. After a scant 2 days of waiting, my precious prize has arrived. UPS, I've been saying this all along, really up in their shit, man, in terms of knowing where their packages are and knowing when they're going to be somewhere. Digging on it and digging on it. Not got stolen off my porch is another good thing. Put the fragile sticker on it. It's wonderful. What a caring person. This guitar is already in 2 pieces. You know what I'm saying? The neck is attached, as I said earlier. So, I mean, even if it's been kind of jostled around and shit, I mean, it's already sort of not dealing with a full deck like Eminem, you know what I'm saying? Ricky D always says I wasn't dealt full deck. I'm dealing with half-handed cards. Shit like that, man. I always disagree with Ricky D. I always thought he was very, very talented and underrated himself. But maybe he didn't underrate himself, man. Maybe he knew all along. He was just fucking with us, man. So here we go. Let's take a look. This is definitely the body cam, right? The body. It was definitely been discolored. It was definitely a wall hanger for many years because of certainly exposure. One-sided exposure. Hey man, you can use this with the coat, man. This is for you, bro. This is for you, man. This, man. Woo-hoo, that's just for me, man. Midnight, bro. What? A little treat inside the SG for you, bro. Okay, right on, man. I wish I started talking Fort Knox and Roblox, man. Unbelievable. Almost imaginary. What the flying heckle and jekyll? Oh, it's definitely an SG hue. Oh, I see that Gibson SG. Yeah. It feels just like my SG that I've been playing for years. Look at that. Oh, yes. Look at that. Certainly early 60s, you can tell. Just by the workmanship on it. That's a real Gibson, all right. Wow, Warren. This is the summer of plenty. The Gibson side of things. This must be a giant dildo. I'll put this over here for a hot second. The body wants to hog all the spot. This has got to be the neck, man. Hey, man. I was buck naked. High on mask. Running from the law. What do you know? County sheriff. On goes the siren, man. Threw away my little baggie, man. I went back later, but she was gone. I must have been other kind of fiends, man, in that area. I could smell it. Hey, man. I can smell it too, man. They used to call me crack hound when I was in county. I could tell which inmate had swallowed condoms full of drugs. Oh, where the little pieces came off, man. It's a real piece of Gibson, man. Can you believe it? You dig it? Oh, yeah. Sunday will never be the same. I lost my brother. I can't see any serial number. Looks like it's gotten worn off. That's what the picture said. Let's take all that shit out of here, man. I'm going to show you. Reunited and it feels so good. So there it is, man. It's about the size of an SG. Wouldn't you know it? I like this, man. I looked online. There's a lot of these. They're all fucking yellowed out. Thank goodness you left the bushings in there. That's good. Looks like this thing had been on backwards for many years. This is 1964. This is the last year where this useless sort of, thing was there. Maybe it wasn't that useless. It looks like this guy used it. Oh, I'm going to rest my fingers on that thing. It's unusual also because this thumb rest is in an unusual spot. It's not usually there. It's usually like right here. Weird, man. But it's obviously, that's where the factory put it. You know what I mean? I might just forego it, you know what I mean? I'll get a little tugbar thing. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it, yeah. This little piece was shoved in here. This is a mess. Looks like this entire fret has been cut off. by whoever, you know what I mean, tried to repair this with some kind of. This is unusual for Gibson. You know, these usually are put it out further, but because of the bass and the string sort of placement they did it. This is disappointing. How this is yellowed up, really something fierce, but around the Gibson is still like all almost looks like a fake to me, Clarence. So certainly in 1964, because by 1965 this thing was a fucking long lost memory. And they had a cover over this, and there was like a mute and everything. There was all kinds of other little things that were screwed into it. The brake, you know what I'm saying? The worst part about it is this piece is missing. And that extrudes from the instruments. We're going to have to reconstruct it. You know, this has all been sort of repaired, sort of half-assed. So we're going to have to go over the repair, make sure it's all right. We ordered all the parts. We got it for exactly like $860. You know what I'm saying? We've done good, Charles. And it's going to be a nice beat-up guitar with all brand new electronics. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing worse than an old guitar with terrible fucking dog electronics. This new shit is excellent, man. It's going to sound excellent. The next time I see old bass Mark floating around, man, I'm going to pull his motherfucking ass in and make him play it. And he's just, oh, you know what I'm saying? The way he talks about basses. He might talk shit about it, and then afterwards, like, hey, man, I was just lying about that, man. There's some issues. No sign of a serial number, man. Those cheeseburger tuners are going to fit on there like a fucking glove. It'll look nice for the people. It's got a beautiful back, you know what I'm saying? That's the SG color in full, man. Too bad about this shit. Somebody put some screws on there. Make a cavity cover. No sweat, man. No sweat. This thing's gonna look great, man. It's cool because it has the exact same dimensions as a Gibson SG. So if you're familiar with playing a Gibson instrument, I loved my SG. I loved it. I played it a lot. It was one of my early sort of, you know what I mean, creations where I fixed something up that was in many pieces like this. So this is like a you know what I mean, generation 2. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was a real Gibson in my early days, man, but this is definitely a real Gibson. So let's go to the learning laboratory. I'm going to show you some pictures. Show you some pictures just so you can see, Charles. Real quick. The stuff that we ordered. You know what I'm saying? We'll go over the prices and shit. And then we'll start to put it together. Right? Learning laboratory 1. Okay. Welcome you back to the learning laboratory. Thanks, my daughter, for letting me use her old Chromebook, man. Thank you. So I can show you. So you go to Wikipedia, and the first thing you see, man, this photograph of Jack Bruce's 1967. You know what I'm saying? EB-0 Bass. That's the, you know what I'm saying, most famous condition of it. Now ours is a 64. 64 was like an odd bird. It came in 2 different incarnations. One with a 2-ply pick guard, right? And this thing is usually this way, but this is all the parts are rounded more or less on this guy, right? And you can see that it was the first year that there was no surround around our mudbucker, right? And see, it's the rounded bridge. I'm going too fast for you guys. I don't want to go too fast. These became more square as the 60s wore on, and then they changed it around completely when it became like a 3-post thing, like 66, something like that. These are the tuning keys. This is, I believe, the Cluson 358, something like that. It's like a narrow gauge kind of deal here. It's more narrow even than today's narrow gauge, man. You know what I'm saying? Hard to come by. Expensive. These are my favorite knobs in the world. These are usually on the earlier ones from like 61 through 63. And then right around 64, they switched it over to like the, well, I'll show you in a minute, man. I don't want to get through this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? I want you to know everything. I want you to be learned up, man. You know what I'm saying? This is the 2-plier. Shows you what the wiring looks like, and it's sound clips. I mean, you don't have to get the sound clips. I mean, you're not that. The only one I can really find I can show you here, this has the 5-ply pick guard on it. But you see, it's got those amplifier knobs on it. It's weird, man. But it's definitely a 5-plier, just like ours. But it's certainly a little better shot of those tuners there, in great condition, where ours is not in great condition. Got a neck on that one. See, that's 5-ply without a doubt, but it's got the amp knobs on it. So what are we going to do, man? What was on ours, man? How are we going to reproduce this? How are we going to spawn it out, man? The old Gibson aluminum Cluson, man. Gibson makes them themselves now. So still got the rounded guide. It's all rounded out there, Manuel. See that? Amp knobs. Got the rounded tailpiece. See that? Beautiful. Glorious. So this is a good reference for us to sort of get working. Some of you out there are getting jerking because you're a little bit weird. This one had all kinds of marks and scuffs. I mean, that's just the nitty of the gritty, man. The nighty of the gritty, man. So, I mean, let's talk specifically about our specifics. Because I want to be specific with you, man. I say, not only was the great Jack Bruce into this particular instrument deal, man. The early days, man. Think Rainbow, man. Look at that. He played bass. Dio wanted to play bass. He emulated Paul McCartney, you know what I'm saying? It's just the truth, man. It's actual. Everything's actual, man. There he is again, a little bit later on in the course of life. Still with that same old bass, man. Bassmatic, man. Bassmatical. So here are some auction pictures for our instrument. We can just quickly peruse them for your perusal. Yeah, I like to get all perusal there, Noriega. Right? You can see that it's definitely the first year. It's got that thing. And look at this. This is in like a weird place, man. Usually it's over here. It's just a strange sort of observation. It's like a prototype, man. Look at that. Bad condition there, Noriega. It's all fucked up. We're going to have to rebuild that completely. And we already looked at this, though, together. So what was on this particular instrument? You know what I mean? Because it was hussed out to me. Well, luckily I was able to see Seller's other items, and I see exactly what the components were that he took off. This is just a regular old Gibb sound. You know what I'm saying? Taking it off my instrument and giving it to others people. But look at the prices this guy's charging for that. See that? $1 million. $1 million, Chiefus. You believe that? $149 for the damn thumb rest. $179 for the pick guard, right? I got a 5-ply coming to me. It's just going to be like $45. I believe I paid $15 shipping. You know what I'm saying? I'm savvy like that, man. This one right here, easy to reproduce. We're going to do that ourselves because we can, you know what I'm saying? But this is the actual one that came off of it. I keep getting like offers on my eBay, you know what I mean? Buy it now, or $89.50. You know what I'm saying? I can make that shit myself. This is off the original instrument, so it was what ours looked like. And this is answers us exactly what kind of knobs were on this particular instrument. My favorite knobs. Only you see is that the volume and tone have been worn off. Been worn off, William. So we're gonna have to replace them with these particular knobs. My favorite knobs. My favorite knobs. We got to get the pointer washers too. Got some good photos of the Tronics, right? I'll actually have a set of these. I got a switchgraph guy on order. This cost me $10 for 2 of these. You know what I'm saying? And I got a whole bunch of, I believe these are 103s. 103s. Small guys, but it's going to work great, man. And I actually got those pots because I got a set of 4 when I did that Dan Electro earlier on this year, right? So I still have those in the cut. This is all great pictures for us to base our, you know what I mean, rantings off of and ravings. You see how it works there, Samuel, right? This is the reproduction piece that I ordered. $89. You wanted $99, but I got $10 off. Because I'm a savvy motherfucker. Guys in Argentina. Saying I'm watching the tracking on FedEx. He sent a FedEx. It's like going through Argentina, and it was Quito, Ecuador. It's out for delivery, man. We're going to get that in our hands soon. It's going to be great. Looks great. It's the rounded one from the early 60s. Just like what we need. You know what I'm saying? The other ones cost like $400, man. We're going to have to take that Artec mud bucker. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to modify it so it fits inside. You know, original case here. I've got a case for $50 off Reverb from a 66. So we're going to take that Artec and sort of move the pole pieces around because the pole pieces are off, which sucks, man. We're going to have to figure out. I got an idea, though. This isn't the original from ours. This is just what, you know, our goal. All the parts, you know, $50, and then it was $23 for the Artec. Because I told you I'd give you a little bit of figure, you know what I'm saying? And this we're going to make, you know what I'm saying? We're just going to make this shit, just a piece of wood. I was thinking not even doing it, you know what I'm saying? I was thinking not even fucking with it. And then we got to figure out how to swindle out something like this, man. These are difficult to even think about. I ordered like, this is the most expensive sort of chasing rainbows type of thing so far for this instrument. I ordered like 3 different sets. You know what I'm saying? 2 of them came in and 1 of them I'm waiting on. Looks like the cheapest one. You know what I mean? And like the second cheapest one might be a good hybrid. If I can, I'm going to have to use the second cheapest one. One costs $30 from Amazon. It's got the real small skinny guys made by WD. And then I got the WD Deluxe ones, which I don't think I'm going to have to sell them. You know what I mean? Just looking at them, they just came in. I have to sell them. And then they got like a set of 2x2s, you know what I'm saying? Like the real cheap ones from China. And maybe I can hopefully use the plates. You know what I'm saying? And use, I don't know, man. We'll see, man. We'll see what we're going to do, Warren. Right? I'm thinking about Dio, man. Hey, man. You want to talk about my man? I see you in the laboratory. The laboratory. Well, welcome back to the laboratory. So, you got a cool, like, original finish here with a great patina for the most part. You know what I'm saying? This is real faded. But it's still got some serious fucking mojo, man. This is real faded, but again, mojo is on fire. One thing we have going on, we can't even get this fucking thing in here. You know what I'm saying? And once we just kind of get in there, it's hard to get out. We got some material here missing in here. Why? Because it's glued here. So we're going to want to clean this out in a way that it easily goes in. You get all this shit out of here because we're going to rebuild this thing up here. A real wood. Right? Let's get it so we can easily just sort of put that guy in there and he goes where he belongs so we can understand what's happening. And then we can begin to sort of rehabilitate both parts separately and then bring them back together knowing they'll be able to connect connectically. Right? This is all fucked up too. I want to fix that. It's like sticking out like a millimeter, you know? So let's do that all together. Let's sort of try to break this free again and clean this out. Right? So we got it down to kind of where we wanted to be at the first step. And we got to, you know, get this neck like more shaped out, right? Or shipped out, I should say. And, you know what I mean? We were able to successfully re-break this part off and get the glue off and everything, which is good because it was standing up. So that's a cool thing. Let's glue that thing back correctly now, because it was totally like standing up a little bit and it was off kilter. And it was like probably would prevent our pick guard, our potential pick guard, from being pick like. Yeah, it's a mess, man. All this shit. I used a little, you know what I'm saying, dinosaur bone hunter fucking hammer and a Japanese chisel, man. This is a good kind, man. You know what I'm saying? We'll see after we've been reconnected on this part. That's all I really needed, friends. Just a little love. You know, it's like, believe it or not, damn flush. Doesn't really feel like flush because there's like a break in the paint, but it is definitely flat. Until up here, it's like flat. Let's see if this is dried out. You all dried out there, partner. We're going to have to set you out to pasture. Alright, so it's been about 2 days. Under pressure. Let's take this clamp off. I hope it didn't goof. I'm not putting another sort of pad under this. We have a big, like, coffee cup, coffee table stain on there. A big circle there, Doc. I got a circle on my EB. My EB-0. Alright, so it's a nice, strong, solid repair. And it's where it belongs now. It's not sort of humped up, in a weird way. It's sort of like flat, which is a good thing. And you can't really see much of a difference, but I can feel the difference. So we gotta work on this guy now. I mean, this is all fucked up. I sort of sanded a little tiny bit, and I took this little piece of dowel in my little wood scraps bin, and I kind of shaped it up a little bit, just roughly. I mean, we're not trying to make a Picasso yet, because we'll do a little bit more sanding later. And we're gonna clamp him on here with some glue. You know what I'm saying? Slowly but surely, we're gonna mold this guy back into the right shape. Right? I see when we're all clamped up, Clarence Clemens, you clamper. It's clamped down there nice and tight. We'll come visit this in a little while after it's dried out, right? Want to get you dried out there, Uncle Remus. Don't want to bring you to Christmas looking like you've been drinking all week, even though you have, you dirty old man. So we let it sit overnight. It's certainly dry. Let's unclamp it and move on with our date. On there nice and solid. So we got some other stuff to fill in. You see here, there's another little groove, another little valley. Got this little piece of wood. Fits in there like a glove. We're just trying to fill all this shit in so we can have a totally, you know what I'm saying, wood on wood in the pocket. We don't want, glue on glue. It should be a weak sort of bond, But if we can get this guy all patched up, man, you know what I'm saying? It'll be a sunshiny day. So I'll see after this has been clamped. There it is, man, all clamped out. A little meat jiggling out the side there. But it's pretty much flat and it's pretty much filled. So I'll see after this is dried. So it's been about 4 hours. Let's unclamp it. We can keep on working. So it's getting there, man. Still got these 2 ugly holes from when the neck was screwed onto the body. Have a skewer here, bamboo skewer. Have a slightly sharpener, just a regular old pencil sharpener. We're going to put some glue on this and glue in there. We're going to tap it in there. We're going to do the same thing for this old gal. I'll see you when we're all glued and tapped. Hey, pay attention to me. I don't want when you pay attention to somebody else. So, there's actually a little crevice here. But now we got this guy filled. I have a little piece of hardwood binding. And we're going to take that. I've sort of beveled the top a little bit. So it doesn't like stick out that much. We're just going to clamp it right here. Now that we got everything, you know what I'm saying? Covered up in there, Charles. Let's see when we've been clamped. My clampy friends. Hey, man, he acts so clampy. All clamped out, man. Let's see after we've been dried. Alright, now it's been some hours. Let's get that clamp off. Looks good. So I scrape this off with our fingernail or a little plastic scraper. Looks like white paint. Acrylic paint, something like that. Let's try to get it off of there, man. I don't really want to use anything chemical. You know what I mean? Hey, man. What's wrong with chemicals, bro? You can't even tell where it was. You don't even know it existed at any point in its, you know what I mean, time on this planet. Started off with the old thumbnail, and I use this fucking thing, a little scraper. We also got rid of this little rat tail sticking out like a fucking sore thumb. You know what I'm saying? There's no need for him. Cut him right off. So we'll let this set a little bit while longer. Let's take care of this guy right here. Look at this. All cracked out, man. Hey, what? Cracked out. We got this guy here too. It's kind of the same deal. It's cracks that we don't want cracks. Cracks where we have no crack need. We're going to take the suction cup and get all that glue in there real good. Move this around, like bend it back without breaking it. Yeah. Same deal here, right? Mm-hmm. This one's all like seriously rigged together. I got a big heavy box of these big iron dies, man. So, man, it looks pretty medieval. But it doesn't roll off the bench, right? So let it set overnight. I'll see you upon rising tomorrow. So we got a clamp for 2 days. You know what I'm saying? This is definitely dry. This is definitely dry. Who gives a fuck about him, right? Let's unclamp it. And then we're going to get this guy all correctly flattened, rounded, and beautified in the right way, right? Just using regular objects. See when that's done. I'll show you how I did it. So we sanded it down real nice. We realized there was a little gap right at the edge there, so we put a little piece of wood there. We're gonna wait a while, William, and then when we're done, we're gonna sand it off on this unbelted sander, man. It's like the old-fashioned days, man. That's how we get it right. All right? I'll see you after we've been totally straightened out. I'm gonna straighten you out there, Todd. Don't talk to me about any of those things. You understand it? You know what I mean by things, right? 1, 2, 3. Nice tight fit. See all that new wood? We rebuilt the back there. Sitting perfect though, exactly where it should. In a good way. It looks a little gappy toward the edges, and that's because when you sand something, it tends to get rounded over. Rounded over in an accidental fashion. But no biggie. No big whatsoever. This is lined up exactly the way Gibson had it. How do we know that? Well, we took this little nail and we stuck it through the strap button hole in both the body and the neck. Made sure it was totally straight. That's where it belongs. So that answers the age-old question, what's going on with this, man? What's going on with this, William? Well, this might have been chipped away by the consumer, but I think Gibson pretty much did all the damage there. And there's something removed. This is a 66 plate that I bought for Reverb, which we're going to use to mock up our Artec $23 mud bucker. Sad Wander William. And it looks like that's, the Gibson cut, man. I think this is some kind of prototype, just because, this is the wrong way, and this is like in the wrong place. This is in the wrong place, I think this is like one of the first ones. It's definitely not fake, It's Gibson through and through, but it's just weird, man. Wild stuff, William. So, we'll put this away for now. Now we're going to start, getting it prepped to get glued back together, right? So what we want to do, I told you, man, there's only one hole. There's only one hole, man. So that has to be where the strap button is. What about these two fucking holes, man? Don't lack them. Don't lack them at all. So they go all the way through. This is where the, I guess, necklet had been screwed out at one point, because it obviously came off, and I was attempted to be reattached several times. I think they were missing that piece of wood for a long time, and I think that sort of hampered the life of this guy. So we're going to put a piece of tape here, and we're going to cut little pieces of dowel that will fit into these holes, but not come above and rest slightly below these openings. That way we can just put a little Bondo on it later and even it out, as opposed to, having to sand it and all that kind of nonsense, right? This is already finished, and the finish in the back's actually pretty nice on this instrument, right? You know what I'm saying? This looks like false abuse, man. It's like the original finish from Gibson, man. It's incredible, man. So let's get that all, plugged in. I'll show you at that parent one. There we go, Charles. See that? It's not like there's a little bit of a gap. It's all wet. Let's let it dry off, and I'll show you there. Let it shed a spell. So now it's all dried out. It's the next day. You can see here. That's not as white. You can see the indentation a little bit better. Right? Or maybe you can't. Maybe you need to go to the optometrist. Right? Get your shit fucking looked at. This thing's dirty as a fucking... dirty as a who on Monday morning. Yeah, man. It's like bronzed and shit, man. There's a big section over here. There's some kind of scum here. Hey man, let me rest my hand there, man. This has been painted over. It looks like it's got like some kind of top coat. And here too, I think that's why it yellowed out, to be honest with you. Because they put like some kind of nail polish or something here to give this color, because you've been playing over here. Probably had like 4 or 5 owners. It's like a hoover. So we're going to take this whole furniture ore polish, and we're going to take some super fine steel William. We're just going to go at this guy, you know, trying to clean this shit off, you know, in a nice manner. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if we can do that. Sometimes we'll say dirt. And people are like, what are you talking about? Dirt. There we go, man. We got it cleaned off as good as we could with that method, man. All the scum is gone. Right? Remember that big ring of scum? It was like all containing, sustaining, man. This thing was filthy, man. So we took it to task. Now, when you do this kind of deep cleaning, sometimes it brings out the odor of the former life of the instrument. Sometimes it smells like cigarettes. Sometimes it smells like dogs. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the, you know what I mean, flop house that the musician lived in reveals itself during this phase. This was the most disgusting smelling guitar of all time, man. It almost like made me retch. It smelled so bad when I was trying to clean off that scum, man. Yeah, man. This is, you know, it was like molding some piles of dog shit. I'm gonna go play my bass without washing my hands. Sounds like a plan, man. Seriously, man. Whoever owned this previously, you were a scumbag, man. It's alright. Now, I mentioned in the last clip that there was an overspray on the front of the instrument, and that's true. Front of this and this have been oversprayed, and that's most likely what made it yellow out. I don't know why. But we see in that overspray there's still a little bit of orange peel. And the overspray is protecting the crackle here. See how it's got that checking. And it's also over this nail polish that's, you know, covering up a big worn spot, which was a different color. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we're going to wet sand it. We're going to start with some 1500. Little piece here. There's a 3000 all over. 1500 just for the front of the instrument. Right? 3000 for front and the back. The neck, we're not going to touch, man. We're going to just put that aside. Let it stew for a while, because it's alright, man. I mean, it's not really too fucking clumped out, man. This is a little clumpy looking. We're going to wet sand it in the chair, man. You know what I'm saying? Just sit back and do a good job. And I'll see you at that print. 1, 2, 3. On the road to super shining. Look at that. Yeah, man. It's like a mirror. It's like a mirror. I can look into it. So I see my beautiful self into it. Yeah, man. Not too much shining going on here. There's not too much paint left, really. You know what I'm saying? But what paint is left is sort of like been sort of aroused. It's the shine factor. So let's just put this guy over here to cool out for a little while. And let's run a block over these guys. They look pretty good. I don't really see anything. I see that they've been tended to. Let me turn the light back on, man. See that, man? They've been tended to, looking very tender, but maybe a little bit misshapen. So let's do a little bit of work on them right now, because it's easier when we're all detached than we're all together. There we go. A real quick one. You know what I mean? Look at all that dust, man. I'm gonna put on a line and sniff it, man. It's called the locksmith's dream, bro. A little bit of this, a little bit of this, man. Right? Looks to be okay, man. It's a bass, anyway. So let's wipe this off. Wipe it off, will you? Wipe it off, and then we're going to take a little bit of steel wool, put some mineral oil in there, let it seep in. I'll show you when we're all greased out, man. Some people get greased up. I like to get greased out. It's all greased up. What do you want me to do with it, hoss? So we're gonna let that set a half hour, a half a whore, right? And we're gonna see what it looks like, and then we're gonna wipe it down. William, wipe me down, William. Can't be seen by the wet nurse like that. Right? You're whetting my appetite. See you in about a half, or about 35. Ain't no drive. So something a little bit. It's been a good 35 minutes. Let's wipe it off. Right? We don't want it all greased down. Too much grease for Yes. A deep, rich chocolate on that Brazilian rosewood. Right? So now let's talk about this hole, Mama. What does it do right here? Now, I told y'all that we got an Artec $23 pickup off the internet. And we're going to try to dumb it out, mock it out somehow. You know what I mean? To use this plate. Now, the Artec pickup is like a copy of a 70s EB bass mud bucker. You know what I mean? It's not really the Sidewinder we're looking for, right? But it's, you know, something that I think I can modify. And I actually kind of want to have it in the instrument while we glue the neck on, because it's a very, very tight fit in here. Extremely tight fit. And I got to shave down the sides of the magnets, because the Artec is like part ceramic, part Alnico. There's Alnicos and ceramics around there. So it actually, I believe, reads the same exact 31, 32. You know what I mean? That the original mudbuckers read. So that's, you know what I mean? That's a great sort of thing to have if we can mock it out. And I want to see if I can do that before, maybe not completely, just, you know what I mean, size-wise, we put the neck on, because I'll put it in there, I'll glue the neck on, and then I'll pull it out real quick so the glue doesn't get on it, you know what I mean, once it's sort of set, you know what I mean? Once we got it all figured out. So let's go take a look at the old Artec compared to this guy, right? And then we'll try to figure if we can get it all rocking and rolling. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So here we are with our Artec Sidewinder, right? And we have our little plate from 1965 that we're going to sort of hide Artec behind. So let's put this guy aside. Now, I've quickly opened this previous just to see that all my calculation was correct and that it was off. And yes, it is off. But I put it back exactly the way I got it, because I wanted you to experience it with me together. So it comes in a whole bunch of different packings. There's all kinds of instructions, and the original mudbucker is 30 high reader, you know what I'm saying? 31, 33, something like that. On the multimeter, and I'll bring it over here. I'll show you what's going on with this guy. Comes with this, a little piece of rubber. Turn on the flash, man. I want you to get flash-tastic. See that? Piece of foam rubber nail. Huh? And we got this. That's the mud bucker right there, man. That's the bucker backer for the Epiphone version. See how they're just different, man. It's just different, man. We could probably get away with this, but it's so much bigger. So much different. Now we put this guy on here. And I mean, we might be able to get 1 or 2 guys to line up. But we're not going to be able to get the rest of them to sort of fall in with the crew. And additionally, this magnet here, it's too high. It just goes too high. We need to trim everything down on this guy. We got to trim it all down with a Dream Isle. And we got to sort of wrap these guys. These are just big screws that attach to the pickup in there. We're just going to attach them a different way, right? We got to put this down. So I'll pause right here and I'll go grab the multimeter so you can see what it reads before we start altering it. Ready? Alright, so I got the multimeter hooked up to the ground, man. Let's put it up to the lead, man. Let's see what this reading is, man. 30, 31, right? That's it, man. That's the mudbucker reading, man. That's the right thing. So what we got to do is we're going to trim down this magnet here and like see if we can get it into the instrument with, you know what I'm saying, that 65 panel on top of it somehow. You know what I'm saying? And see if it's still reading that same number after we're done chopping down that magnet a little bit. Ready? I'll see after we've dremeled the magnet, man. You ready? 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 1, 2, 3. We got it in there. Right? The neck fits in correctly, although we just sort of have it leaning on there. See that? We were able to whittle away all that. Whittle away the rubbish, Warren. Whittle away, because we got 2 of them. You know what I'm saying? That snap through. We're going to have to devise that. Right? We still have the multimeter connected to it. Right? Still the correct output. We're in business, people. Right? So we're going to put the neck on with this fucking mudbucker in here. You know what I'm saying? It's just a tight fucking squeeze. I don't want to fuck anything up. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to leave that in there. We're going to put the neck on. Right? All right. Everything looks good. Let's keep on working. Alright, so we're about to put the neck on this instrument. Isn't that exciting? It's exciting to me. Bright new day. Got the wood glue. Ready to rock and roll. I'm going to apply it here, 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 here. Not here. We don't need it there. We're going to kind of stay away from this hole right here and this hole right here so we can line up that strap button hole with the nail. Keep everything copacetic. You know what I'm saying? We want it to be authentic as possible. Right, we got the quick grips back there. That's the quickest option. Got a little brush to spread around the glue so we get an even Steven Deven, you know what I'm saying? So I'll see when we're all clamped out. And we'll take this guy out. Sack him out. Clean him up if he has any glue on him, right? So it looks like we're all right. Everything's real tight. Pulled that pickup out of there. Got the glue off of it immediately. Nothing bulging out really. Got the nail out. Right? Everything's fucking hunky-dory, right? Let's let this settle for a while, will you? You know what I'm saying? Wendell, why don't you weep for me while I wonder what I'll do next? Wonder why. Wah. So it's been setting at least like 80 hours, something like that. 3 days and like 7 hours, something like that, man. So let's take off these clamps. I want to put a little bit of glue in the sides here. This looks like the glue kind of settled in the sides. There's a little gap here and there, and I want to make sure it's all glue on wood, man. Glue on wood. Now, why wouldn't I just put like a little, piece of like veneer or like a little, piece of wood in there? Well, then the strength of the neck is really based on the strength of that little piece of wood. You know what I'm saying? The glue could always just break that apart and the neck would fail. So we want to glue on wood. Real wood, William. See in a wink of a cat's tail. See, it's all dried up looking. And then, safe glue, F snot. Right? We got a lot of glue pumped in there on the sides. Looks like it's totally solid now. Add a little bit of water to the mix to improve the viscosity. We're going to let it set like this for like 15 minutes and we're going to clean it up per the nest, and then we're going to set it, on its flat side like we had it. And that's the print wall. See you next there, Ford. Lots of glue in there, man. Lots of glue everywhere, William. You're all whited out, William. All right, so let's let this set a spell like we set the other jobber for a little while. It was all clear looking. And I'll come back at you in a couple of dates, right? Looks about dry. Been about 2 days. Nice and solid bond now. Is it totally dry? I don't know. Let's give it another day or two to dry out. In the meantime, what's this? I've been kind of working on the tuners, man. Nothing else to do, right? Put a bushing in. Fits nice and snug. So let's move on over in the bench here and take a look at the tuner action that we've been currently engaged in. Come along. Alright, so for this particular project, I've purchased 4 sets of tuners. One set has not come in yet, and I believe that set will be the set. Let's go through the losers, right? First of all, I got, excited when I first got the Husk, and I ordered all kinds of parts, and some of them were not right. I ordered a set of, the $19.99 or $16.99, whatever it was, on eBay. The cheapest, vintage set kind of looks like this, the 4, 2x2s. And that order was canceled like immediately. It was out of stock. Then I found a 5-string, set, which is this, for like $19. And I bought this. I was like, maybe I can, dumb this up with this old set, which is where I got that bushing that I have on the guitar right now. Alas, that is not possible. I spent like a whole night till 5 o'clock in the morning trying to get it all rocking and rolling. There's no way to sort of fusion them out, right? So then I purchased this. This is actually from the real WD Music. These are the Deluxe, WD Deluxe. Now, the measurements that they give you on the internet are not correct. These have like what looks like the correct footings. You know what I'm saying? But this big thing does not fit through the, headstock, and you have to drill it out and all kinds of nonsense, you know what I mean? Not looking to do that. And they're supposed to have a slotted screw in here. So that kind of disappointed me, considering that I spent $76 on them. Although, like, $33 was all points. So, I'll be able to sell these without losing any real serious money on eBay, because they're kind of, you know what I'm saying? They're kind of being sold and not just sitting on eBay. So, if you want to know who the real WD Music is, it's Woodreeve Farm, right? I can't, send these back because it would cost me too much money to send them back and get my refund. So, plup, 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 plup. Then I bought these off of Amazon because they have the nice big flow reliefs. These are the low-end WD Music guys. This cost me $40. And the last York, these are too small. They look ridiculous on the instrument. You know what I'm saying? Even though they should fit the bill, they look ridiculous from the back. They look ridiculous from the front. So I'm going to send these back via Amazon returns shortly after I've done filming this damn video, right? Last night at 5 o'clock in the morning, I finally gave in from Chicago Music Exchange for $89. All in points. You know what I mean? So I didn't really spend any cash on it. I bought a set of Rickenbacker tuners, which are made by Schaller in Germany. And they are essentially, 538 Clousons. But they have the, the T-top tops, as opposed to the flat tops that the Gibson ones have. So that's what we've been working on with the tuners while we're sort of waiting for it to dry, doing our research. And we're going to go back to the guitar once it's all dried out and continue our little project. Ready? 1, 2, 3. It'd be hard to live with myself if I didn't explain to you why I was there. So it's been 6 days since we glued these sides in, man. I don't know, 10 days since we glued this guy back together. Approximately. I don't remember exactly. I'm sure I said it in the videos here somewhere. So everything's looking good, man. It's time to get the Bondo going. Let's put some tape on here. Very carefully. The sides here. See how there's like that little gap? There's that Cumberland gap over here. Ooh, hey man, you're off course, bro. That's just ugly. It doesn't look as bad as it does in person in the video. For some reason, man. This little Oh man, this thing's like hard to hold, man. The SG is hard to balance. Right there, we're gonna put a little tiny bit in there. Some more in here, Wendell. You know what I mean? Let's round it out. We want to get these two holes all filled in, man. Hey, he was Mr. Holier Than Thou, not this guy. These two guys. These guys we're gonna leave alone, man. I'm just gonna paint in there a little bit, man. We're gonna get these guys here. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go in this little gap here, man. I want to fill your crevice in there. Some cream of wheat, William, right? Let's go outside after we've been all taped up, man. I want to show you what it looks like before we put all that bonder in, right? So we got it all taped up to real specific margins. See that? You see that, Steven? See that margin of error? So we got everything laid out. We got the popsicle sticks, got the Bondo, Burger King gray gloves, some napkins. I got some napkins for my mouth. And then we're gonna mix it up on that old mini cartridge, man. Right? Let's see after we Bondoed out, man. He Bondoed out, man. Rock bottom. Rock bottom. We have to actually mix up two Bondos. It dries so quick. I think the last time that we actually used Bondo, we were doing it in the garage in like January or something like that. It was like so cold that it took forever to heal. I was on the DL for a long time, Chief. Got half a box to put all the garbage, right? Let's clean this up. I'll see you soon after it's dried. 1, 2, 3. So we had it sitting for 4 days since we Bondoed it, man. 48 hours in the garage, right? Just to get the smell off of it. Because it's the summertime, curing out in the garage is kind of a high humidity sort of situation. It gets like kind of a sticky film right on top of it. You're like, hey, how come this is not dry? But it's totally cured. You know what I mean? That sand's right off. But for good measure, we brought it down here to the basement where we got, you know, humidifier pumped up real high because all these guitars down here. And we did another 48 hours down here in the basement now. The sticky film is gone. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to sand it, man. Sand it? What's that mean? We're going to want to sand it. Just really concentrating in the joints because, I mean, the tape, we take the tape off, it's going to take off most of this Bondo. The one place where I might have to re-Bondo is right here, and I don't think I got it totally flat because there was a lot of material to make up. So we might have to do a re-Bondo session. We have to do 2 re-Bondo sessions. We're going to, you know what I mean, right now, worry about the main deals, or sometimes we say the main dills. The only time that you held the dill is when you had a pickle in your hand. Right? That's an ugly little thing we're going to fix up. So we want to be able to see the tape on this side. You know what I mean? That's it, really. So we're going to sand through all the Bondo to the tape as far in as we can, and then we're going to pull the tape off. Pull the tape off, Charles. This part, we're going to have to shape it out a little bit, man. Shape up, shape out. So let's see in a shapely gist of a couple times more right now. Some elbow grease, man. There's a lot of like tiresome shit, man. But we got it correct. It's down to grade. We use a variety of different files and sandpaper things. The best thing I actually used was like a little emery board, actually. I just cut off little pieces of a thin emery board. I don't know where it is. I think I ripped it all up. Threw it out here. Here's the remains of it. Alright. Just broke off those pieces, and then I used like razor blades to level it off once the tape was gone. You know, saying people a couple of needle files just to get into the grooviness, and then finally an X-Acto knife to cut off the, you know what I mean, remaining parts with that Bondo that got underneath the tape, man. So anyway, the one thing we need to do though before we do anything else is we gotta go out for our second Bondo session here. One, I was a little bit overzealous in sanding it, and I took off a lot of the Bondo, but it did serve a purpose to sort of, you know what I mean, nicen it up a little bit. We're gonna put a little bit more on top of there, a little bit. So let's put a little bit of tape right over there, man, and I'll see you out in the Bondo area. Right, 1, 2, 3. All right, so we're outside, ready for round 2. We got this little hole here next to the big hole, next to the little hole. Right, we got a little space there that I want to fill in, but most of all, I want to sort of flesh that guy out, man. Let's flesh him out. Got the Bondo, got a little piece of cardboard to mix it up on. You know, sometimes these micro dose, you know what I mean, Bondo sessions go real well. Sometimes they do not. Right, let's do it up. Right, I'll see you at that point. We're not gonna have to, you know, let it set it so long because it's just a very small amount. All right, so we got it leaning here against the garage wall. Let it set for, you know, the evening. Take a look at it tomorrow. Looks like we've done some kind of progress. Some progress. See you on the mall. Alright, so it's been about 13, 14 hours. Just moved it in from the garage. Let's sand it down. Get this tape off and move on with our project, for crying out loud. Yeah, that worked, man. We're good. We're good all around, William. Right? So I got this little detail brush here. This is the wedge one. It's very, very tight wedge. I got these 2 color paints. This one's for like the front, this one's for like the back, man. We might have to put a little bit more brown in this area. I was even thinking of some other additives, but we'll see what we have to do. Ready? So there it is. Just with the acrylics. Looking, you know what I mean, less suspicious. A little bit more auspicious though, right? So let's let it dry out, and then I'll show you our next step. A little workshop. We had to add a little bit of browns in there to get down to town. This isn't the real drying color, by the way. Hobby Lobby, you know what I'm saying? Don't be so snobby. Did a good trick and it did a good jobby. See you when it's all dry. Alright, so it's mostly dried out, which is a good thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this shellac, which we made for our Century instrument that we started off the year with. We're going to take a little spoonful of that, teaspoon, put it in this medicine cup. Add, you know, about half a teaspoon of pure alcohol. Got a special detail, a needle nose there, brand new. We're getting all the nooks and crannies with that guy, and we're going to use like a little foam brush on this little corner there. Can you see? Hope you can see. I'll see when we hope it looks better. Look at that. All shellacked out, man. Looks perfect, man. You see the whole little rainbow again. This isn't perfect here, but I mean, man, it's not that bad. Much better than it was. It's like a nice tight bond, you know what I mean? We don't see any gaps, you know what I mean? Looks great. See that? I mean, you're gonna, if you look closely at some shit, you're gonna notice some stuff, but I mean, for the most part, it looks great. Look at that, man. That's fucking great. So, this right here, you can see is a little bit parched, man. Let me turn the flash back on, man. And I want to put a little bit of grease on there, man. A little bit of grizzly grease. So that while the shellac dries and the acrylic dries and everything can sort of dry together, a nice little melting pot of fun. You know what I'm saying? We'll have this grease. We'll just apply it real quick and wipe it off. And then it'll be all completely like all cured out. What we want to wax it up tomorrow or the next day. Okay? All right, so it's been a week's time, actually. I know I wanted to do this the next day. You know what I mean? But it's such a busy week, waking up so early in the morning. This time I got home, I just wanted to sort of just eat my meal and go to bed. But on the plus side, I mean, it's been a week. Everything's sort of all cured up and cured out and back to status quo. All right, this is all dried up. We put some oil on there. It's got a nice dark hue again. You know, we have no fucking ashy sections. We're good, man. So, got some waxes here. Hey, man, wax it off. Regular old paste wax on the fretboard, the back of the neck because the finish is gone. Right? And everything else, gonna get a little bit of mom's cleaner wax, man. Brazilian, right? Vamos a hablar portugués. Let's wax it up, William. You whacking up, William? 1, 2, 3. Yes. We're on the sheeny shiny zone now, man. We're all waxed up. We can't wait for June, right? Rest in peace, Ryan Wilson. I keep thinking about you. So, we are ready to continue our journey. Now that we are completely waxed, completely joined. Let's talk about him. Here he is. I found it. Well, the best way probably is to just shear off these 2 screws. Like tape them to the back of this side. You know what I'm saying? The little nub, as if it was going to, you know what I mean, touch this. But we're going to take some screws. I have here, they're the exact same thread as these screws. And they're actually the exact same length of what would actually protrude into the pickup. You know what I mean, of this, so the bottom half. You know what I mean? And they go all the way in. And we're going to take some copper lead, wrap it around inside the head of this as it goes in. And then we're going to wrap around here. So we're going to do that. I'll show you a little clip as we're doing it. And then after we're done, it'll look like an old guy. And this guy in the middle, this odd man, we're just going to screw him in once everything else is all set up. Because he's a little bit slightly wonky, but he fits in there. Right? So, wish me luck. It should work, though. All right, so we got the 2 screws held in place with a piece of tape. We got those lead screws, very magnetic. Right? Take a good look at those screws, man. Old stock, man. Right? We get that other hole. So what we're going to do, we're just going to put a little hot glue around it to keep it in place. So it doesn't move, doesn't come off. You know what I'm saying? Thing doesn't fall down, fall out. You know what I'm saying? Stays where it should be, and then we're going to screw it down. I'll see you at that particular point. Alright, so it's down. Went according to oil, no problems. So what we're going to do with this pernt, we're going to take this tape off. We're going to check with the multimeter for connectivity between these pole pieces. We're going to stick the little thing down there and see if it, you know what I'm saying, registers. Ready? Everything's connected beautifully. It's a wonderful thing. Success, right? So we're going to screw this guy in, right? Into that hole. A little askew, but you know what I mean? Nothing to do. We're going to use these 4 screws that came with the Artec. Screw it in. They're very nice, very close, very right. Right? Right? Right. It's on there. It's on there. Good. Still reads 31 on the multimeter, so that means it's still somewhat correct. Right? So let's work on the electronics, shall we? Come on, let's go work on them. Electronic time. It's like Prince when he was mad. His mad era. You know what I'm saying? And he changed his name. So the first thing we did is we connected this guy to the multimeter. Tapped on that stud in the front. And yes, connected. We have a ground, son. So that's a good thing. This guy has plenty of room to make it over the pot. Pot? What? Speaking of which, William, CTS, you see that? It says right on there. CTS. 500K. Long taper CTS pots. That's exactly what Gibson used, man. $11.99. I just bought these at Guitar Center. I thought I had them in, you know, in the cut, but I did not. $25, man. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it is $25. So could have gotten them, you know what I mean, $13.99 a piece, $2 more on Amazon, but I have to wait for tomorrow. I want to do this right now, man. I only have the weekend's time, so Got some nice pointer washers, Gibson vintage style, right? And a real switchcraft jack. You know it's a switchcraft because it says switchcraft right there, man. Swindler craft, man. Hey, man, you see that? And these are the caps that I use. This is an old stock 33. Right, and here's a real old stock 103. That's the 0.1 or 0.01 UF that we need. Very easy wiring. You know, nothing complicated. You know, we didn't use any kind of sprayed caps or anything like that because, you know, these cost 25 bucks. That's why. You know what I'm saying? Shortcuts, kid. So we're going to wire it right in the guitar, man. We're going to pop these guys on, right? And then we're going to just wire it together the right way. It's a very easy wire. So I'll see you at that point. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There it is, man. Just took it to the amplifier. Perfect, man. All the poles are magnetic, man. Tone knob works. Volume knob works. Jack obviously worked. Hey, Jack, man. Use these little protectors. This is kind of ugly here. This is ugly here. I swear there's some kind of like like adhesive spray on the back of these fucking things. Something, man. Just don't want you to solder it, man. But I tried my best. I used these little, like, you know what I mean, protectors on this one and the little one down there. You can't really see it because it's all sort of jammed in here, man. Works though, man. It's great. It's an exciting moment. It's also interesting here. You can see closely there. See, it's 24/32, so it's the 32nd week of 2024, and this would have been in 1964, right? And that's how it was dated as in 1964 originally because of the pot. So it was exactly 60 years difference. Same type of pots, man. It's amazing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make the cover. Cover me, right? And we're going to take a piece of paper. We're going to tape it down to this thing. We're going to get a little crayon to make the outline, and I'll show you when we're at that point. Ready? Easy as fishing. You can be a musician, right? So we just took a crayon and just did the deed, man. And now what we're going to do is on the back side, behind these lines, we're going to put some double-sided Scotch tape right behind that. Now we're going to cut it out. Be real careful not to get it stuck on anything. I'll see you once we have it all cut out. So we got it all cut out, right? We have it right here. We got a piece of thick 2-ply black on black correct material, right? We're just going to stick this to the right here on the corner, man. I don't want to do it one-handed, man. Like, oh, you know what I mean? Because there's no take two. You know what I'm saying? So I'll see you in 1, 2. And there it is, man. Pretty much, right? Let's take it over this whole scroll saw. Scroll it out, man. Scrolling along on Moonlight Bay. Not too bad. Not too great, but I mean, not too bad. So let's just whip it into shape over here, man. Right? Just get it all looking great. See that part? So we got it, man. We got it good. So what we're going to do is we're going to pluck this out. We're going to take a furniture marker, like a black or a brown one. We're just going to go around the edge here so we don't see any sort of holiday looking shit. You know what I'm saying, man? We're going to take this guy. We're going to put him on a piece of tracing paper. We're going to trace him on a piece of tracing paper. And we're going to cut it out. I'll see you at that point. So we got it cut out. We got it placed inside there, man. Right, we're going to take a little pencil or maybe even a marker. We're just going to find those holes. I don't want to mess with it too much here, but we'll find those 4 holes and we'll annotate them at this moment. I messed up with this one right here because it moved. The second one's the correct one. So I got a piece of double stick tape on the little thing, and the film is still on there. I'll just put this on top very carefully so the holes are where they should be. Alright, we got it rested on a block of wood, a very small drill bit. We're going to drill out these holes very, very carefully. Right? And there we go, man. Got the holes all holier than now. This isn't really a bevel bit, but let's see if we can use it as a bevel bit, right? 1, 2, 3. Works like a charm. Like a champion charm. So let's take this, you know what I mean, all this stuff off here. And let's just scuff the shit out of this. You know what I mean? Get a little scuffy and I'll see if that burnt, man. We're about to screw it in. Alright, so we got this thing totally sort of all scratched up, mainly with steel wool. We're going to rub it out. We're going to polish it out. This is 32% kielbasa grease. It's the greatest polishing compound you'll ever get, man. It's going to be shiny again, but it's not going to look like it's new. So, you know what I mean? Now we're going to put a little bit of wax on it, man. Just to bring it up to speed, because everything else got wax on it back there, William. Right, we're going to re-wax it later, but let's just get that all waxed out first off. Alright. So it's got a nice sort of thing going. Let's screw this guy down, man. Alright, let's not waste any more time talking about a cover. See, we're all screwed in there, parred. And I used used screws. So, it's, you know what I mean? Double the pleasure, double the fun, man. It looks so great, man. Well, I'm so happy about that. So, what else can we talk about in a plastic nature? I got this. Gary G's. This is a 61 to 64. However, it is perfect. It has screws, but I'm going to use screws again. I'm not going to use new screws. This piece right here, man, has to be widened a tiny, tiny smidge, man. Just a tiny smidge. So let's take this guy out the package, right? And let's get him all sized correctly. And I'll see if that's burnt. Ready? So, we got it in there, man. A lot of like tedious ass shit, man. But all the holes line up. Holier than thou, man. And that's a good thing. Exactly covers that little bald spot. So, let's talk about it. It's got that sort of weird 5-ply. It's not the correct 5-ply that was on this one. There was like the even like layers, like the layers were the same size. This is the kind of 5-ply that Gibson used. Think hollow body, think 335s, you know what I mean? Special kind of, you know, pick guards like that. Am I mad? No, not really. Am I slightly annoyed? Yeah, slightly. You know, they could have used just regular 5-ply. I had to return this one, actually, or initially, because they sent me one that was a little bit wrong. It was like a 65 or whatever. I don't know, man. It's supposedly all different types. So, this is the correct one. That makes me happy. Let's talk turkey about these holes right here. Oh, what are you talking about, man? Turkey. Cool beans, man. So, this is for the tugbar, man. The thumb rest, you know what I'm saying? And this is on in a weird place. It's in a very weird place. Usually it's like here. And I was thinking maybe, and this is in a weird place too, and this is definitely a Gibson instrument. I was like, maybe this is a special order, a custom order. A 30, you know what I mean, inch scale, as opposed to 30, 0.5 inch scale, which is a regular issue, because this is cut off in a weird way, and this should have another ½ an inch of fret there. So I think this is actually a custom order 30-inch scale EB bass. That's why the things are all kind of weird in weird places. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're all Gibson parts, but they're put in weird places. So, as opposed to putting this where it probably belongs, where Gibson put it, you know what I mean? I'm actually going to put it where it should be. So, because it kind of looks like an anomaly. You know what I mean? I want to cover up all the fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? This is going to be below the pick guard. We'll just have to drill one more hole into the instrument. But we're going to reproduce the entire thing. Now, these were generally made out of ebony or rosewood. But I think on a lot of these EB-0 basses are just made out of some kind of like, bullshit wood. And it was like, ebonized or painted, to make it look like it was like, because this is a low end thing. I'm just thinking that way. Some of them I seen are very, very black. So I have an actual nice, real hard. I went through all my guitar, wood pile. And this is a nice, healthy rib here. Very hard. It's not bullshit. I took a whole bunch of different samples of pictures I had. This is the nicest one. And I printed out all different kinds. I have like a nice card stock. So I'm going to cut one of these out. I'm going to trace it around. I'm going to use this hole as a reference. And just, go to town, brother man. You know what I'm saying? So let's cut this out. Use it as a pattern. Trace on here with a pencil. Bring it over old scroll saw. Try to cut him out correctly. And I'll see if that burnt. My printed friends. Yeah, it's good enough for a basic run. Let's sand it down and get it nice for the people. All right, so that's about good. Doesn't have to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? So now we're going to drill it out, right? And that's just nice and holier than thou. Measure it. Let me make sure it's correct. We're going to take this little countersink bit. We're going to countersink it. See, it's been already countersunk in the pattern. So using the pattern, let's drill the holes. It doesn't look that bad. Let's take some of these, man, and color it down, man. Color it up, color it down, color it up, color it down. Right, I'll see when it's all brown around town, right? It looks remarkable. So let's wait till it's totally dry. And we did all sides. Right? And then we're going to bring it outside. Put a little bit of lacquer over it. Right? Cure it out with lacquer. Right? See that? Alright, so it's like almost nighttime. We gave the front a nice healthy coat. The bottom's kind of got a nice coat on it. Let's give the top a coat. Right? We don't really need to give the back a coat because that's going to be, you know what I'm saying? Let's let it dry. We're going to sand most of this off anyway, right? Shift this guy up. I'll see you when we're downstairs. Right? There we go, man. Sufficiently coated. Dry to the touch. Down here in the basement, drying on a piece of wax paper. As you know, I know, with lacquer you want to be a little slacker. Let's give this some time to sort of harden out and harden up. What about these holes, Mama? What do? Let's talk about screws. Now let's get them all set up too, man. You know what I'm saying? We gotta think about our screws as well, man. While our old tug bar is drying out, we gotta talk about the things that tug on the bar. You know what I'm saying, Paulie? Alright, let's move on to the screwing. Alright, so I have 2 screws here. Beautiful brand new screws. Brand new shiny screws. Now that's gonna look like a sore thumb. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna stick right out. So let's stick them in the bottom of here. We're gonna paint them with a paintbrush. This is like off black. Color's called pavement. Hey, look at this, man. It's like I'm a homeless man. Hey, I just found this shirt in the trash, man. Right. Let's paint them with pavement, you know, right? Just the top part of it, you know what I'm saying, man? A little bit off the top. I'll see when we're all purring it up. All right, we're all dried out. Nice and matte. Looking good. So we're going to want to protect this acrylic paint because the screwdriver will go right through that. You know what I'm saying? Put a little bit of acrylic sealer on there. It's also matte, but it's a protectant. So I'll see when we're all coated out. Or coated up, if you might prefer. Alright, so you just want to hit it up till it's slightly wet and shiny looking. Looks good. So we'll let these dry out here for a little while. Bring them back downstairs. After they're totally, you know what I mean? Dry to go. Let's get our attention back on that pick guard, shall we? So we're back here, right? Back in old pick guard land. So we're going to take this pick guard off very carefully. We're going to put it on a piece of tracing paper, right? Put it on the spot of tracing paper. Very carefully, we're going to trace it. We don't want to get any of this graphite on this fucking pick guard because that's a no, Neil. Can't do it. Will not do it. And we also want to note all the fucking holes, man. Big deal, man. Big deal. We got the holes. So I'll see you after we all cut out, man. He was never cut out to be a varsity athlete. Alright, so it's all cut out. We know where all the holes go. Right? So we're going to line this guy up. Pretty much, right? With all the holes. And then we're going to trace out these 2 holes right here. Right? Just so we know what a straight line is. Because we know Gibson lined everything up, right? Right? So let's trace those 2 holes right now. Alright, so we got the holes marked out. They're on it. And then we have this little tiny hole here that we use the Real Deal Holyfield to sort of figure out where it's going to be along a straight line. Right? And what we're going to do is we're going to take some rubber cement and we're going to fix this to this exactly. The reason we're going to use rubber cement, it's got a decent hold and it's got a long sort of cure time. So we can move it around because I want to get these holes lined up exactly. You know what I'm saying, man? In minutes. right? So let's do that. And when it's on, I'll see you at that print. All right, so we applied some glue, right? And then we used a roller to roll it flat. It's dried now, right? Here are the original 2 dots. We put another dot here. To, we had a little poke, through, but I wanted to, that's where it is. X marks the spot kind of thing. We got a little drill bit, which is about the same size as all the other holes in here. We're not going to have to bevel this one. So let's drill out those holes right this very moment. All right. So we got the holes both drilled out, right? Drilled out correctly. We stuck a pin through here and it went right into the hole that was already there. That's a good thing, right? We're not going to drill this through the body yet. We just have it drilled through the pick guard. We're going to wait till we have it screwed on the instrument. So, you know what I'm saying? We get it exactly 1,000,000% where it needs to be. So what we're going to do at this point, we're going to peel all this stuff off. See how that rubber cement kind of had like a weird reaction with the films that's on there. There's like 2 layers of film. Just ate right through there. We're going to peel all these stickers off and all the, everything, including this, everything. Got to go. I'm going to rough it up with some steel William, right? One weird thing I've noticed, man, is this guy, Gary G, he told me he made these himself, and I look at the back of this one, it says, this is made by WD Music, man, by RC, man. This guy said he made it himself. It's kind of weird, right? I just bought it from somebody else, saying he made it himself, man. Taking the glory. Anyway, man, so let's get this guy all scuffed up, unshown and unwrapped in the other order. All right. So we got it all whited out, man. It's all unshined. So we're going to take some mineral oil and we're going to sort of oil sand it. Real fine grit here. I'm not sure exactly. Just feels to be about 800, 1,500, something like that. Let's do it up. All right. And I'll see if that burns. All right. So we oil sanded it and then we rinsed it off upstairs with some dish detergent and we dried it off. So we got it like dulled and then like, all the major like weird sections removed with the, you know what I mean, sand. So what we're going to do now, we're just start going the other direction. We're just rubbing compound, polishing compound. Try to stay away from the whole areas, you know what I'm saying? But, do the Midwest, the Southwest, and the old Northwest Passage, right? I'll see you when we're all repolished. 29.6% kielbasa grease on this count this morning, so we're doing well with our politic acids. All right, so we rubbed it, we polished it, we brought it back upstairs. We rinsed it off again with some dish soap. So it looks like it's got some genuine wear and it doesn't look like it's been, savaged out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some acrylic paint, and wet this down as a magic erase sponge, right? And I'm just going to smear it into like all these edges to get a little color in there so it looks a little eld, right? I'll see you at that print. What? Did I make a mistake? I don't know. I don't think so. This antique white just wasn't, colorful enough. So I took some Golden Sunset, man, and I just fucking smeared it on. Bring it upstairs and wash it off, see what it looks like. Just wash it off, will you? See where we are. So it's got a little yeller to it. You know what I'm saying? You just clean it off with a cloth and some alcohol. Be careful, alcohol will take it all off if you're real serious with it. And the little recesses here, look at them all painted up, man. Took a little Q-tip in there, man. So now we're going to go to some cleaner wax. Cleaner wax will take off color also. So let's hope we keep a little yeller to ourselves. Keep your yellow to yourselves. See you then. Good. Look at that, man. Looking old, looking good, looking shiny, looking good. Right? So let's go back to the saddle, man. Let's give this guy another coat. You know what I'm saying? On this section, we're going to use this guy. And this old fella we're going to use right here. And on the back of the neck. Which, as you recall, has pretty much been stripped up finish. Right? I'll see you when we're all coated up, right? We're getting ready to guard ourselves from all the pickings. Right? We already have 2 coats on this guy, so we're rocking and rolling. Rocking and rolling, Nolan. See you in a minute. Yeah, now we're like super sheeny, super shiny. You know what I'm saying? Like deluxe, man. Deluxe tastical. So it looks great. Feeling great. We're nearing sort of milestones. This guy's been sitting for a week, right? Let's get some steel wool to him. And let's get him sort of unshined. You know what I'm saying? Ready to be unshined, my friend. See you in a moment. Nice and leveled out, man. Looks great. Let's put a little tiny bit of cleaner wax on it, though, man, just to sort of protect the finish. I want to protect this beautiful finish we got on this, thumb breast here. You know what I mean? I don't call it a tugbar, but I ain't going to call it a tugbar for the tough guys. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Looks great, man. So now it's time, man. Let's put this pick guard on. I have some used screws. Hey, man, this is used, bro. It's been pulled out of something or other. Put it on, man. Right, I'll see you at that turn. Alright, it's all screwed down now. Everything's in the correct place. So this is not, you know what I mean, anything under there other than wood from the guitar, man. There's no hole there. So we have the drill. We're going to drill out that hole. It doesn't have to be too deep, but deep enough so that the screw will catch. I'll see you after we're done with that. Alright, so that's the hole. It's been drilled out. We're going to attach this guy using like regular screws first. Then we're going to take those screws out and we're going to put these guys in because we don't want to gunk them up. You know what I mean? One by one by one. I'll see you once we got this old tug bar tugged down. There it is, man. Looking good, man. Like it should. We didn't gunk it up at all. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. So let's move on through all the manhandling shit, man. We got this beautiful head stirk. We got this guy in from before, right? Here are his friends. Those old ones from that set that I had from the late 60s. These are not really exactly what was on there. There's like a more of a fluted thing, but these look, you know, the right size. And they're old, and they have like an old sort of look to them. This is the Rickenbacker set, man. Chicago Music Exchange. Cheapest, you know what I mean, under $100 for the whole set of the Rickenbacker key wines. They send you all kinds of swag in every order, right? Rickenbacker doesn't have anything really packaged real fucking sharp or anything, man. I want you to see this, man. These are made by Schaller, which of course started out as a division of Framus. Can you believe that? Doing all Framus's hardware. See, this is made in Germany. Right, that's a telltale sign of Schaller, folks. And it fits right through the antique guy. Oh, there it is, my friend. My Wiener Schnitzel does fit. Yes, oh yes. I like the Wiener Schnitzel fitting, and all the holes line up perfectly. You know what I mean? This is the exact same footprint that Rickenbacker also used. The old Kluson 538s, but the only difference was instead of being a flat top, they have these like T-tops. Schaller has been made the same exact ones, I guess, since the 80s or 70s for Rickenbacker when Kluson stopped. But I don't really like these bushings. A, they're too new looking, and they're too white wall ties. Are you gonna cruise the Miracle Mile? Right? It doesn't look right for it. These look right for the part. So we'll put these guys aside. We'll use the screws, though. We'll use those screws, Charles, right? Let's put these in and then install these guys because we're getting real near the end. I'll see you when we're all keyed up, man. These are called a key wine set, man. I'm going to key it up, man. Right? I'll see you when we're all rocking and Rickenbacker. Look at that, man. Look at that. Doesn't that make you feel a little bit good inside? Isn't that a wonderful thing, William? William Wendelson? So, we got some business up here to deal with now. Because we got this part done. Now we got to get the other part done. So what goes in these holes, Mama? What do they do? They are our anchor hub, man. Oh, Philadelphia Luther Vandross, man. A lot of their products come with this little action gauge too, man. That's always a cool thing, man. I've been using these guys since 2010. Let's get that installed, man, and then we'll talk about something else. There it is, man. The Gibson goalposts. Hey, man, they line up good, and let's hope that the next piece lines up good. Now, I told you earlier that we had to get couch that actually matches this spot here on the carpet. That's all, you know what I'm saying? Perfectly. You know, so we got a reproduction piece. These are very expensive. From Argentina, right? Of all places, they sent it to me FedEx. But it's kind of packaged a little bit, you know, very like fucking like the Inca natives or some shit, man. It was cool to check it on the FedEx where you see like it's in Quito right now, you know what I mean? So let's unpackage that together, you know what I mean? I want you to see the primeval packaging, man. Let's go. And here it is. Now, it came in a FedEx shipper. I cracked it open, and I saw it was so beautifully packaged, and I said, I want to share this with my friends before I unpack it anymore, because it's just very typical South American sort of style, man. I want you to get some international flavor, man. It's culture. Look at this. Now, it's got like saran wrap, like a piece of like wood. You know what I'm saying? I think these are made to order. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is a unexacto knife, man. Not very exact. Let's get it completely unexact, man. I cut myself on camera. You know what I'm saying? My insurance company gets like a copy of the video. You know what I mean? We're denying this claim. It was no accident. He was wantonly making content, quote unquote, right? Anybody like have a little vlog and like their wife's always like making fun of them? Oh, influencer. I've like 23 people watch these videos on the regular, man. So here it is, man. It looks like a bar ivory soap, man, from a hotel. Holiday Inn. Now this thing, I don't know if I just use scissors or just keep on pulling off this shit. You know what I'm saying? I want to be as... I don't know if... Man, look at that. I can see it on the radio. I can see all around me. Oh my God. This is, I can describe it as like, it's got like some kind of, I don't know, man. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's like a grip on it. It's common in Argentina. Look at this, man. Isn't that beautiful? It's fucking gorgeous. It's gorgeous, man. And I can take this shit out here. You know what I'm saying? If I wanted to, you know, if I want to look fucking all tough and everything. All right, man. Let's go back to the instrument. It fits, man. So you must have quit. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, it's a wonderful thing, man. Perfectly covers the, you know what I'm saying? The blood stains on the couch. Looking good, man. So let's put some strings on it. You know what I mean? Got these in the archive, man. Got them in a set. This is a sort of 40s. Right, Orpheus, man. Sort of like one of my go-tos on the AliExpress set. You know what I mean? Let's put them on there and see if everything works. Let's see if the pickup works. You know, we might have to. That's why we haven't put any knobs or anything on there, because we might have to break in those electronics and we might have to mess around with it. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if it works there, William. And 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. dude, the only thing we had to do, took a little tiny pieces of string there to keep the sort of from tilting up. Action is butter. I had to tighten the truss rod, about 1.5 revolutions complete. This has been so fucking, screwed with, but it worked. Brought the action right down where it's supposed to be for a bass guitar. And the electronics purring like a fucking beautiful little kitten, man. Everything's fucking hunky-dory. So we played a little while. We let it, set the truss rod, you know what I mean? Get in the right place. Played out of the amp. Now it's time to continue, man. We're happy with it. The setup is all good. You know what I'm saying? Everything is copacetic, man. This thing works like a charm. You know what I'm saying? Love it in every way, shape, or form. Let's talk about knobs, man. Hey, you know. I got a set of 2 tones and 2 volumes. I only need one of each, right? These are like the nice ones, right? That are like, you know what I'm saying, real nice for the people. So let's select the nicest ones out of these that are stamped the nicest. We're going to set this all the way this way and set that arrow at 0. Right? This way, 0. This way, 10. Okay, let's get those knobs on. Right now. Look at that. Look at that. Gorgeous, right? Fantabulous. Righteous, man. Righteous. It's looking righteous and righteous. So we got the action right. We got the truss rod where it should be. Got this guy. Now, if you're buying these things off eBay, the cheapest guy that says 2-ply, it's actually 3-ply. Second cheapest guy that says 2-ply, it's really 2-ply. Right? Under $10. 8 and change, I want to say. You know what I mean? You know it's American because it's got one of these big, thick, it's a quarter bag, man. It's not even a dime, bro. I can get a nice quarter in there, bro. We're going to take this guy. We're going to see if there's any film on him. Hey, he's a wily one. He's a wily one. Wouldn't you know it? Yeah, there's some film on there. Let's take the film off, give it a little bit of age. All right, and then smear some of that same acrylic paint that we used on this guy. And just give it a little bit of age, Charles. All right? Age it out. I'll see that burnt. So we got it nice and unshined. All right, and then we put a little bit of yellow on it just like we did over here. Just a hint, man. You can control the acrylic yellow with a little bit of rubbing alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Just so you know. So let's put a little bit of cleaner wax on this guy. Shine it back up a little bit. And then attach it with these 2 little tiny screws. The littler one, you know what I'm saying, is going to definitely go in this part right here. I'm saying these are specialty screws just for the Gibson truss rod. I'll see you in 1, 2, 3 seconds. Look at that. Look at it. Oh, gorgeous, man. So where are we left? Where are we left, man? Strap buttons. That's it. 2 little holes. So now we're going to bless the guitar with another real Gibson part, man. It's actually another former Kluson part that's now been sort of shoved off to the actual, you know what I'm saying, guitar brand because Kluson sort of exploded, right? And we got the big screw for the, you know what I'm saying, the big screw goes in this end, the little screw goes right in there. All right, so we're going to put these guys on, man. The real aluminum ones made with the Gibson pride in the USA. You know what I'm saying? The full circle, man. And I'll see you at the glamour shots, man. And we'll look at this guy closely together. Ready? Come with me. Come together. All together. Conclusion of month 1 of our Summer of Plenty, man. The SG fucking conundrum. You know what I'm saying? Senior citizen right here, man. Loving it though, man. I've been playing it for a little while now. This is fantastic. And to think it all started over Maestro vibrato. I told you it was real, man. There are no doubts now. I hope, man. That's just for real. As fucking legitimacy comes, man. That's like fucking Maury Povich. You are the fucking father, bruh. Right? An old friend, man. You know what I'm saying? The other crack is like in the same place, too. See that shit? That's like the SG's fucking weak part, man. You're very weak, old man. Right? Action is fucking butter. You know what I'm saying, man? Everything worked out swimmingly. Swimming riverly. Little river band. See how this color, if I set these together, you know what I mean? Be like, oh yes, that's, you know what I mean? Smashing. It's that 60s Gibson red, man. Fucking, that's what made all those fade out guitars, man. You know what I'm saying? Like this kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? That was a simulation of the situation, but you see it in reality now. You know what I'm saying? How the ultraviolet rays remove all red, but not in the new Epiphone red. Man, that's such a heartbreaking moment to find out this was really an Epiphone, man. For years, I was like, oh, it's my first Gibson, man. Touche, Cusack. Touche. Let's hear this guy, man. I've been talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Wasted half your summer showing you how I fixed it. Some, you know what I mean? Dude, like in like the 60s. Hey, man. Talking to his girlfriend. Let me borrow some of that nail polish. You know what I'm saying? This is pretty much the color of it at that point. You know what I'm saying? The nail polish wasn't Gibson red. It was like Dockside Whore pink. That was the actual color for Maybelline. It was changed, man. Crayola already had the fucking rights to Dockside Whore pink. Let's hear it, man. Let's celebrate it. I'm saying. And remember, happy 4th of July to my mother, my father, and Colonel Tom Parker. There you go, man. This is the heritage episode, man. The heart and the soul, man. Your favorite Kaiser roll. Your first real bowl. First time you dip with Skull. Actually, I found that to be quite disgusting. And I only did it like 2 other times. I was in high school and I used to like spit the tobacco on the floor. Greg Schnitzbahn and John Hunt. History with Coach Johnson. I'm running through my Ampeg BA115. Dude, this thing is the cleanest sounding, smoothest bass I've ever played. It's so, the electronics are like practically like, it's just like the bass is just there. There's no sound of any kind of hum. Nothing, man. It's just like what it's supposed to sound like. This thing's got a whole bunch of settings in it, but I mean, I haven't messed with any of them. I messed with these a little bit, and you know what I mean? I found my sweet spot, man. So, as we close out the month of July, you know what I'm saying, the sweltering August days ahead of us, you know, our sort of wacky old fortune, man. We haven't left Fender behind. We're going to revisit Fender later on this year, but Gibson was a company, man, that was started by somebody with heart, man. Orville Gibson was an artist, man. He's an artist and a craftsman and a musician, a virtuoso musician, and he was special. I believe he was left-handed. He had all kinds of things that people like. The people that organized Gibson were savages, man. They were all about it. They were the Ray Krocs, like we were talking about last week. But Orville Gibson was the heart and the soul, man. Gibson is special to me, even though it's the legacy of monsters, man. Hope you can hear that, man. It's pretty. I have it down pretty low, but it'll shake the whole house, man. Bass is a hard thing to record, man. I hope you hear something. If not, you might need to put some headphones in, man. But I was talking to an introduction about Jack Bruce. I saw Jack Bruce play his EB1 or EB2, whatever that one is that looks like the violin bass. I saw him play it with Ringo, man. I was fucking blown out, man. And he was still good, man. You know, I really, really wish I saw Cream. You know, I had the opportunity, but, you know, I had to go to Steely Dan. It was not a good fucking memory. I know people are like, hey, man, that's not the right way. I don't really know the right way, man. I'm not really a bassist at heart, man. In the white room with black curtains at the station. Black roof country, quiet pavement, tired pavement. I walked into such a sad time at the station. I don't know if I know the other part. I'm in this place where the with you where the Hey man, Jack Bruce, rest in peace, man. I'm so glad I saw you. Again, you might need to put earphones in. I got a real bass amp pumping it out, man. I wasted a lot of your time, but it was totally worth it, man, with the Rickenbacker tuners. Got no movement on this crack right here. I was looking at it, too, yesterday. So, stop moving, stop moving. And I looked at it carefully. It was not moving. No breakage in any of the glue around there. I love this instrument. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's a real heritage, man. So I'll see you next month for a bunch of Misfit toys, man. Misfit toys, man. Misfit toys.